Hey guys, welcome to Out With It. I'm your host Kea, and today I'm in conversation with the very beautiful, vivacious, and extremely talented Zamiska.
Aw, I love vivacious.
I love it.
that word.
You need to let me finish.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm a yapper.
Okay, we're doing this again. Don't interrupt me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Great.
I will not.
Hey guys, welcome to Out With It. And I'm your host Kea. Today I'm in conversation with the very beautiful, vivacious, and extremely talented Zamiska. Since we started our second series, artists coming out with it from around the world with Sultan the Giant, I think Summer's episode is the perfect second. Presenting to you, Zamiska.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
I'm super excited to be here. I love that you use the word vivacious. I've never been described that way before.
So, how was your day? How's it been before we get into the real gist of it?
It's been good. I mean, I'm just doing classes at USC. As you know, I'm finishing up my fourth year here in the World Bachelor in Business program along with you. So just studying for classes. And I do have to, actually, it's so funny. I do have to memorize a script today because I have a self-tape due tomorrow. So
Oh, really?
I guess that might be a good segue. But
Wait, what is it for?
yeah. It's for, I can't share like all the details yet, but it's for a feature film. And it's just an audition.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's a love story, so super cute. So it's for one of the supporting. So we'll see. Hopefully I get it.
That's amazing. Okay.
Thank you.
So before we go into talking more about your movies and
Yeah.
everything, I want to first touch on your princess job.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay.
I think, okay, first of all, I did not know that was a thing before I came
Yeah.
to LA. I was like, is that really that big of a deal? But no, you're so passionate about it, one. And two, you really fit into your roles really, really well. And you're good with kids, which is the third thing.
Oh, thank you.
So I want to know more about it and how you really got into it.
Yeah, so I'll give the viewers kind of a little background. So I am a party princess. I've been a party princess for, I feel like almost 7 years. Yeah, I think it's been 7 years now. But basically, you're hired by a family to come and perform as a princess that are similar to Disney, or, you can also be a fairy or a maiden that does hair. Pretty much whatever the child wants at their birthday party. I've even done a mermacorn party, mermaid unicorn. I know, it's
Oh,
crazy. I mean, you
wow.
ask a 6-year-old what they want, and it's a mermacorn. I love
mermacorn.
it.
Okay, that's great.
But anyways, you show up to their house, or you can even do it at a venue, and you just entertain them for an hour. You can do makeovers, tell stories, sing songs. And I got into this when I was like 15 or 16. I had always really wanted a job. I was really passionate about working, and I've been a professional actress since I was 14 years old. That's when
Yeah.
I was signed. And I just feel like doing this princess performing weird type of interesting job really blended my love for acting and also Disney. I grew up going to Disneyland. I love it. And one of my dreams that I've had for a long time was to be a Disney princess or to be friends with a Disney princess, as they say. And I'm fortunate enough to have gotten that offer.
Yeah, I was actually going to touch on that because I was with you
yeah.
last week when we were talking about this, and you had an interview
Yes.
for working for Disney.
Yes.
And that, I think, is a huge deal for you. I've known you for so long, which is
Yeah.
why I think that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I still love to, like you said, I love kids and being a party princess for so long. I work for a couple different companies.
Yeah.
I work especially for one company in Newport called Once Upon an Island.
Coming back to the princess parties, I know you cannot mention some names, I believe.
Right.
Right? But tell me some interesting stories that you've had.
I would love to. So what I was really fortunate about working with Once Upon an Island is Once Upon an Island is the #1 premier elite princess party company in Southern California, because we actually have our own venue that is mermaid themed. We're mermaid themed, but we also had, it started out as the first actually princess party company in Southern California to exist. And again, this isn't really a popular thing. Like, you go to India, where you're from, and that's not a thing. Or you go to, Hong Kong or places. It's not really a thing. Even places like like Kansas. I don't know if there might be one, you know, but it's very popular in like Florida. I don't know, just off the top of my head, just a random Midwest country. And I can say that because I have family in the Midwest.
Okay.
Just
People are not gonna come
hopefully
at
I
you
don't offend any Midwesterners.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, it's really popular in like Florida and California where there's Disney, because again, Disney is very copyrighted, so you have to be careful. But you know, who's to say you don't come as a princess that is in the likeness of Cinderella, which by the way, Cinderella is public domain, off of like the Grimm's brothers. So some of the princesses are public domain, but others you have to be careful of.
Yeah. But who are some of the people who you haven't signed an NDA for?
Yes.
But have you worked with?
Okay, yes. So yeah, this job, I went on a little bit of a tangent. Thank you for circling back.
It's all good.
I'm a yapper. So anyway, that was what's so great about Once Upon a Time. Like I said, they're a premier company, so they get really high profile clients. And one of, I would say, I have signed an NDA for a few celebrities, but yeah, we've had like Robin Thicke come into our shop, but one that I can especially talk about is her name is Layla Milani. She's an influencer on Instagram. Yeah. She does like hair, and then her husband, his name is Manny Koshbin. He's a really famous millionaire, I want to say, but he's like really popular and successful and famous for being like a self-starter entrepreneur. And so yeah, I got to go to their $20 million mansion in Pelican Hill and perform as Elsa, or you know, similar to this. I performed as the Snow Queen. I didn't perform as Elsa, I performed as the Snow Queen.
Okay.
And yeah, I feel like working with these such high profile clients. Oh, Gretchen Rossi, another one. She was a housewife of Orange County. She was on that show. Working for these high profile clients, it's just really interesting. I found it so crazy to just walk into these extremely lavish parties that, you know, these parents have spent thousands of dollars on, and I walk in and it's really interesting just to be a fly on the wall, because you're there to entertain the kids, but of course you have to you're in such a crazy environment where you're overhearing people's conversations and seeing what their kids are doing. And it's just really interesting to be a fly on the wall and to look at how these people live their lives. I mean, it's no big deal for them to spend $400,000 on a birthday party for their 7-year-old, which is, you know, crazy, I feel like, for me to fathom. But yeah, I have worked with really interesting clients. But I would say like the most famous one I worked for, that I can't say who it is, but she's a famous singer, and I'll give you a little hint. But yeah, I went to her house, and I got to, that was crazy to see this beautiful artist in the flesh, and her husband as well. I was able to meet, and their kids, and they were such wonderful people, and their kids were so well behaved, and that contrasted to me so much. I had a lot of high profile clients that they were not as rich and successful and famous as these individuals, but their kids were complete nightmares. I mean, so bratty, so rude, and I'm like, here you have these very, very well-known artists getting to meet their kids, getting to spend an hour and a half with their family and playing with their kids. I was the Snow Queen again. I don't know, maybe I have secret ice powers or something. I don't know why I'm always booked as Snow Queen, but she's also just really popular.
Also you do, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it was just interesting for me to see the contrast between such rich, successful artists in the industry, and their kids were so amazing and well behaved, versus like people that weren't as well known and their kids were absolute,
I think it's
nightmares.
Not about money, low-key.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about the upbringing. Like, you could come from a lot of money but still be really, really well behaved and put together.
That is something that I have loved about this industry, is like being I mean, you wouldn't think about it. I'm just performing as a princess coming into people's houses, but you really get a look at like just a little snapshot of the essence of like who these people are and their family.
Yeah. It's also really hard to not break character in certain situations.
Oh,
because
definitely.
you can't do that.
Definitely.
If you're actually just there for 1.5 hours.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
tough, yeah.
It was really hard for me, again, working with this high profile client, she's asking you to sing Let It Go, and you're like, oh, I do not want to sing Let It Go in front of you. Like, no, absolutely not, but thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just stories like that. But yeah, not breaking character. I've had some kids say some pretty crazy things to me. So I don't know what's appropriate for the podcast, but
you can
I don't know.
say.
We can cut it later if it's bad, but just funny stories. Kids are so funny. That's what I also love about them is they'll just say the first thing that pops into their head. Like, I was Ariel.
Yeah.
Or I was, and I was wearing, because her outfit, she has
Seashells.
seashells, yes, and then she has like a little mermaid skirt or whatever. And so I was sitting down, and I was in a venue, and this adorable little he's like 3 or 4 year old boy comes up to me and sits in my lap, and I'm like, hi, what's your name? Like, I'm Ariel, like, blah, blah, blah. And he looks at me and he goes, Ariel, I really like your boobs. And I think he meant my seashells, but like he said, I don't know if you can keep that in the podcast. I have to bleep that out, but I could tell. I was like, oh, like my seashells? Do you like them? Like, they're really pretty, aren't they? And he was like,
no,
yeah. Well, he's like 3 or 4. Maybe he meant that. I don't know.
Yeah,
but kids say the funniest things.
No, they do. That's why I can't stand them.
Yeah, well, you would never be a party princess, so
I
it's
wouldn't.
okay.
Yeah, you know me. I would not be doing that at all.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think you fit the character and you fit the vibe of everything.
Thank you. I just love it. It's just so fun. I mean, like, to be able to make magic for kids, and they actually really believe that you are that character that that they love. Yeah. And I'm so lucky too, because I feel like I resonate so much with my childhood, where like I grew up like loving Cinderella because I just loved her story, and I loved that she had a pretty dress and blah, blah, blah. But getting to really make an impact on kids and being like, yes, I'm dressed like Cinderella and I am playing Cinderella, but like the importance of teaching these kids about being kind, and especially little girls, like you can lead with kindness and you can grow up to be whatever you want to be. And I feel like that's the most rewarding part of my job.
That's really sweet. Really, really
Thanks.
sweet. But segueing that to how you came into acting, and also I think it's juxtaposition that you're an actor, but also you are studying business for some reason.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. And you've been traveling around for so long. How has it been like managing acting with that? Because I think you're signed with an agency here in LA.
I am,
right?
Yes. I'm signed with True Artist Agency in LA, and I went to an arts high school. I went to Orange County School of the Arts, and a lot of people that study arts here at USC also graduated from OSHA. A lot of music kids went to OSHA.
Okay.
I don't know about the acting kids, but for me, being a part of this high school, it was very intense. We had super intense fundamentals training, Shakespeare training, movement training, and the idea that was always instilled in us was, if you want to be anything else other than an actor, be that something else. Because being an actor is hard, and you have to deal with a lot of rejection, and it's very difficult to be successful.
Yeah.
But I would like to counter. I would like to disagree, which is a very controversial opinion. Yes, I think when it comes to acting, you should give it your all. That is number one. That's important. But who's to say you can't also study finance while also doing acting on the side?
I agree.
And for me, I did have to take a break from acting when I traveled with you sophomore and junior year in Hong Kong and Italy. And I would say that was tough because, I'm 22 and I missed out on, years 20 and 21. And those are really important years
really
as a young
important.
actress.
Yes.
And I for me, it was just a trade-off of what kind of life experience do I want to have? And a really important thing that my agent said to me before I left was, because that's the thing is, I could have come back and they could have not wanted to sign me again. They're like, I'm sorry, you've been away for 2 years. Like, we want to go in a different direction.
Of course, it's
you have
competitive.
Of course, absolutely. And it's pretty difficult to, to get and retain an agent for so long. And I'm so grateful that I've worked with, I worked with this agent, but they transitioned agencies like a year or two ago.
Okay.
But his name's Matt Fletcher. Love you, Matt. Matt has really believed in me since I was 14 years old, even though you know, my first booking was 5 years into the game, was freshman year. That was my first real professional booking. And but for me, you know, the thing that Matt told me was, you know, summer traveling and getting to see all these different cultures and having these experiences is going to add to your acting.
Exactly.
Because it's going to make you a more developed and knowledgeable person, and you're going to be able to convey so many more stories of the people that you encounter, of the scripts you read. And I would 100% have to agree.
And it's also, I think, a lot to do with cultural nuances, especially when you're an actor.
Of course.
Because until and unless you've really lived that life surrounded by people of such diverse cultures and backgrounds, it adds to you a lot.
Yeah.
For sure. Especially, I think, with our program, every person is from everywhere around the world. And personally, I think that's really changed and affected how I see people, how I perceive everything. So I'm sure you as an actor would have definitely gained way more.
I did.
Yeah.
I did, absolutely. And I also think just getting these degrees from all three universities, you know, like I said, I was able to tap into finance for the Princess company I worked for so long, Once Upon an Island. And, you know, having this experience helped me tap into the technical side of what I love to do. And I think learning the technical side is just as important, if not more important, than knowing the creative side.
Yeah. But honestly, not just acting, but tap into the whole industry as a whole with this. You could be a producer, you could do so much more.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
But I think that's amazing. And
yeah, thanks.
segueing that to, I think, I want to know a little bit more about how the talent management situation in LA really works.
Yeah.
For somebody who's really young coming into LA, maybe as an international student who doesn't know how to approach these things,
Right.
how would you tell them about your journey?
That's a good question. Like I said, I was signed when I was 14. And I was signed to both a management and an agency company, actually.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I'm no longer signed with the management company. Like I said, you know, they were, after 2 years has passed, the management company actually let me go. They were like, I'm so sorry, we don't have enough room to take you on. But I still continued with Matt, who gives me amazing auditions. I just booked one that he gave me. He sent me out for a few weeks ago. And I would say advice, if you're an international student coming in and you want to start and you don't know, the best thing to do is find people that are in your industry that want to help you grow. And I think the best way to do that is to take an acting class, take multiple acting classes in LA, and start talking to people. I think that is a really great way to get signed. And I got signed through a showcase. I'm not sure. I think they still do showcases, but that's basically where you have a material or sides or a monologue or whatever, and you perform it for a panel of agents and managers. I believe USC does like a big agency showcase at the end of the program. But if you're just coming in, and it's difficult to get access to a showcase. Usually you don't want to do showcases that you have to pay for, because those are, at least from what I understand, from, you know, again, I've been away from the industry, like in terms of recruiting in the industry since, you know, I was 14. So it's been a while. But yeah, I think the best way to get into that industry is to research the best acting classes, research who your acting teachers are, their credibility, network through there. And if they really like you, they really like your work, and they want to support you, that is a really great way to make connections in the industry. And everyone knows someone. Everyone knows people that are like, oh yeah, this agency is looking to hire, this agency is looking to, you know. You can also sign up for Actors Access. It's a monthly subscription, and that I actually really agree with, even though you have to pay for it, for submissions. It gives you really great exposure to things, because sometimes people just need a quick extra, not an extra, but a quick person to come in. Extra as a whole, being an extra is a whole different thing. But sometimes people want, like, you know, someone for a role that, you know, they don't necessarily need to be signed, but, you know, as long as you have good headshots, you can submit your headshots, and that's a really great way to get visibility.
Instant access,
Yes. But yeah, I would say, to summarize, if you're coming here and you want to get in the industry, start networking, take some acting classes, make some friends, ask who people are signed to, ask if they're hiring, ask if their agency is interested, and go from there. That's a great way to start.
Okay, that's, I think, pretty good advice for somebody just joining in to the industry. That's great. So, Hitmen, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about Hitmen. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, do you want me to just start yapping, or do you have a question?
First of all, I want to clear this out. This is a British film, right?
Yes. So this is, I did this through a British film company called Saints and Savages.
And when did you shoot for this?
I shot this freshman year, 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I was there for 2 weeks. And yeah, but it's a British film company. Most of the people based there, I was one of like, I think 4 American actors, and the rest were based in the UK. And actually what I learned through this filming is that the UK and LA are actually the 2 best places for film. I think New York obviously is pretty good, but New York is more focused on like Broadway and theatrical. But I didn't realize how closely connected the UK was to LA before shooting this. And yeah, our star was Eric Roberts, whose brother, he is siblings with Julia Roberts. He's done a lot of great things in his time. He was in Suits. He was in a few other things. I don't know. But he's been in, he's on Dancing with the Stars right now, which my mom was like, guess on Dancing with the Stars. I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, Eric Roberts, your bestie. He's not my bestie. He's not my bestie. I met him like once. Was like my breakthrough in a way. I mean, I got a lot of great coverage from that movie, and it's so funny too, like just to see where everyone from the cast is now. Like the guy that played my husband in the movie was on Bridgerton for a few seasons, which was, I know you saw. You were like, why does this guy look familiar? You're like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, how is this man here?
Yeah. So it's just cool to see where everyone is, and those people that I met on set, and that goes back to the whole connections and networking.
Yes.
All those people on set that I've met, I follow all of them on Instagram still. I keep up with them. I see what they're doing, and because you just never know. I learned in one of my strategic management classes. Again, it's a business class, right? But it's so applicable to acting. In that class, he teaches a concept called serendipity, meaning like you don't know what choices in your life are going to amount to something else. So it's good that you just take any opportunity you can. If you're available and you have the means, do it, because you never know what decision could lead to something else. And I think that is so true in the industry, and why I think business and acting link so well together, and why I'm so fortunate to be in the position that I am, that I get to do 2 things of what I love.
No, I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
And this movie, like, I remember we watched it together in Milan when it came out. I loved it.
I'm so glad.
Also because I really, really like
There's mixed
this
reviews.
genre.
There's mixed reviews.
I know there are.
Yeah.
But personally, I really liked it because it's weird.
Yeah.
The movie's so weirdly made.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, to give your viewers and listeners some context, it's about this couple that kills this young kid at a bar. Well, he's 18, by accident. And his grandfather, who's Eric Roberts, is like this millionaire CEO, and he puts out a
bounty.
Yes, you remember. You're such a pro. I love it. So he puts out a reward. So whoever kills or avenges the death, gets this $1 million reward. And so I play one of the hitmen. And should I give spoilers? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think we should leave it for people to view it. Yeah.
Okay. Of course. But yeah, so I play a hitman, and a big thing that the director said when he casted me was, he was like, I like that you're just like, you're just like this little blonde girl that just, it's just like, like, but then you're just like, you pull out, like a machine gun. You start shooting
exactly.
people.
That's what I'm saying. It's weird.
It's
like you don't expect these people to be acting the way they're acting.
But my favorite scene from this movie, and a big part of my story is I'm married to a hitman, a professional in the industry. And one of my favorite scenes is my husband and I are on a horse, and we're just like trotting on this like white horse like on the beach, like randomly. It's so random. We're just
no context.
It's no context at all. We're just like trotting on this like white horse, And, you know, I'm just like, would you still love me if I was fat? And he's like, of course I would. And then I just pull out 2 handguns and just shoot 3 people dead.
Exactly.
And then we kiss. It's like so random. And the director
So random.
he's so funny. The director was like, I love it. It's brilliant. Do it again. Yes, Summer. I love the passion. I love the energy. It was so like classic, like what you'd think a movie set would be like.
Exactly.
And yeah, like what you think a crazy British director would do. And
no,
it was
honestly,
fun,
that
but
movie reminds me somehow on some level. Like I was watching Baby Reindeer the other day.
Okay.
Have you seen that show?
I haven't. No.
It's about stalking, and it recently came out on Netflix.
Interesting.
I think recently came out. But the setting and the way that show is made is very similar to Hitman.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I
should
love
watch
it.
it.
I should, yeah. And I think that's what's so cool about like different sets and different ways of shooting and different styles. Like Hitman versus like the project that I've just recently finished with Pocket FM is, you know, that set, even though it was still like intense, you know, it wasn't as chaotic.
Of course.
You know, and I just find that so funny where like different sets can match the different themes of the shoot, and it just all depends on who's working.
Yeah.
But I've been really fortunate because all the times that I've been on a professional set, even the more chaotic ones, everyone has been so nice. And I feel like that's what's so interesting and great about the entertainment industry and film is that if you want to be in film, you really have to work your butt off to be in the position that you are in. Because that's what you love to do. And I think that's what's so great about the industry is everyone that comes to set wants to be there. And
They're
that really
passionate.
shows. It really shows, and it makes the experience so much more enjoyable.
I also strongly believe that the energy you put out, kind of receive that at some point.
Totally.
So that does make a lot of sense. But also, what project are you working on currently?
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, I just finished one. Like I mentioned, it's with this app called Pocket FM, and it's primarily an audiobook series. But what they do is they do like promotional videos to get people interested in listening to the story.
Right.
So I was just a part of that. It was just a small shoot. I was only on set for 3 days. But it was interesting. I got to like. I don't know what it is with actors casting me in like these violent roles. I was like wielding like an ice sword, and I had to like. It was so interesting.
You had ice powers in that?
I did have ice powers.
Again.
It's like ice cream full circle moment,
Literally.
right? No, but it's called My Vampire System, and yeah, it's about this kid.
This fits perfectly then, I believe.
It really does. You know, again, I don't wield a machine gun in this one, but I do wield an ice sword.
Okay.
And I'm like, when am I gonna just play like the classic like
Princess?
mean girl? Yeah, or princess, or like the blonde mean girl. You know,
I think you're playing that in reality, aren't you?
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Wait, princess or mean girl? Those are very different things.
I believe both.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
But yeah.
She doesn't actually mean that, guys. We're actually besties in real life.
No, we are. We're not talking about our situation here.
It's cool. But yeah, I did that, and that was fun. I got to work with like a stunt coordinator, and that was really cool. He taught me how to like do the thing, and I hope it looks good because I haven't seen it, obviously.
I'm excited to watch it.
It looks good.
You know, another thing which I was really, really excited to watch and was so funny was the one video you shot for Hong Kong University.
Oh my gosh.
Of science and technology.
Oh my gosh. Do we
you
even want to
remember
talk
that
about
video?
that? Do we want to talk about that?
No, we want to talk about your experience in Hong Kong. But this, I think, is the perfect segue of how you did that video.
That was so weird because, like...
I mean, that has nothing to do with the university at all.
No.
You were just standing there with this flowy dress flowing around
And it was your flowy dress.
Oh, yeah.
It was yours. They were like, do you have a ball gown? I'm like, you know, I don't have a ball gown, but I know who does.
Who does?
And that is Kaya, because I know she would bring a ball gown to Hong Kong, but I'm not bringing a ball. Why would I do that? But, you know, thank God Kaya.
That was so
came in
good.
clutch.
It did come in clutch.
No, that was so weird. They were like, I think because Carmen, our advisor, found out that like I was doing acting, and I was also auditioning for Disney at that time. I was auditioning for Disney Hong Kong, and I was telling her about it, and she was like, so she had me in mind, and she was like, oh, can you do this like promo shoot for HKUST? And I was like, yeah, sure, of course, because, you know, HKUST, like, they did me a lot of favors, you know, and in terms of like scholarship and everything. So I was like, yeah, anything I can do like to help you guys, I would love to. So yeah, it was like a full production. Like they had a hair and makeup crew come on. I was like, oh, this is like a legit thing. But it was just
They get
so
funded by Jockey, that's why.
Oh, okay, I see. I didn't know if it was. See, I feel like you know more information about this than even I do.
The money thing, yeah. So a lot of stuff in Hong Kong is funded by Jockey Club.
Okay,
The-
that's right, because everything is
Everything
Jockey
is called
Club.
Jockey.
Yeah.
So Hong Kong University of Science and Technology is also partly
Okay.
funded by them.
Okay, but yeah, but that experience, that's so interesting to
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
about. But that experience, it was just so, I thought it was very cheesy. If you look at, I mean, this is no shade to the
No, of
production
course,
company,
none.
but there was a shot where I'm like whipping my hair like this in slow mo. I'm like, is that really necessary? I'm talking about like a professional career in like economics, and here I am in like a ball gown, like whipping my hair. I'm like, what is this?
Most
I
of
don't know.
it was also
Ma-
just next to the ocean. You sitting
Yeah.
like walking towards that ocean thing.
They
and I was
they
this is-
had me like read like they're like, okay, now like pretend to like read this script and like be really into it. And I was like in this ball gown by the ocean, like walking back and forth on this like
platform.
I couldn't even tell you what it was.
No, but I think they're amazing at selling their university that
Yes.
way.
And
Because you go on a random day to HKUST,
Yeah.
you'll genuinely just see kids with backpacks walking around everywhere,
Yeah.
struggling.
Yeah.
And then
And it was just
is
this
the promo.
whole production crew.
Yeah.
And I think it was just the style of like, because obviously they know how to cater to their market. So
Yeah.
it was just the style of filming. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I mean, I just walked around in a ball gown and made faces at
Of
the camera.
course.
There was one shot where they were like, okay, now look right in the camera and like look angry. And I was like, okay. They're like, now look sad. Now look happy. And I was like, this is so funny. Like, what am I doing? I don't even think they ended up using it for the promo video.
No,
but
they didn't.
It was a great experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually am still, I made friends with a girl on set, and we still like follow each other on Instagram.
Oh.
And she always likes all my stories and
Yeah.
when I'm shooting. And I'm like, oh, like,
That's
miss
so
you, girl. Hope you're
nice.
good.
I think out of all the 3 places that you've lived in so far,
Yeah.
do you believe that you could pursue acting somewhere else other than LA? Or would you want to?
No, I don't think so. I think I could if I really lived there and established connections, but I've already established so many good connections here in LA, and to be honest, like and again, I think I'm a little biased because I grew up in Orange County, so I've always had access to LA and the things going on, but I really do feel like LA is the place to be when it comes to acting for film.
100%.
I just because of the margins, there's so many more people in your industry that you're going to want to talk to and you're going to want to be connected with. The UK, like I said, I found out is also pretty connected, but I don't know. The UK is connected with LA anyways for the
Yeah.
people that they want to hire that are American. Because a lot of them are like, okay, we don't want to hire you. You're not from the UK. You don't
Of
have that
course.
accent. You don't have that.
Yeah. Asking this question specifically
Yeah.
because of how much demand different nationalities have over different countries. For example, I'll give you an example, like Amy
Yeah.
Jackson. Do you know her?
I
She
don't know.
got married to Chuck Bass.
Okay.
I don't know what his real name is, but anyway. So she got married to him recently, and she's an actress.
Okay.
And she came in way too many Bollywood movies, even though she's a white girl from here. And similarly, a lot of Indian actresses come to Hollywood because of the demand of how few brown people you find, right?
Right.
So similarly, I think Hong Kong would have been an interesting market for you, or like somewhere where
Definitely.
there's, I think, homogeneous people.
Yes.
So
And
do you think that has come across ever?
it totally has. And you know what? I've had so many people say like, "Oh, you're going to
Yeah.
be so great in Hong Kong." Like I'm sure they
Exactly.
want, someone that looks like you, talks like you, whatever in their films. And I just feel like it's one of those things where it's all about getting into the industry and knowing how to penetrate it and knowing who to connect with, where to start. I think I could do it and it would be a great
Yeah.
experience, but I think it would be more beneficial and more efficient for me to
Kind of
look
grow
for an
here.
agency
Yeah.
or ask my current agent about opportunities in other countries that
Right.
they're seeking for. First of all, I don't speak Cantonese. I speak a little bit of Mandarin, but I don't speak fluent Cantonese. So how would I know which acting classes to take, who to make connections with? I think the cultural barrier is such a big part of it, and I think that's the main reason why there's such high demand for people of other ethnicities and other countries, because those people don't know how to get into it and how to network.
That makes sense, actually. Yeah, I think you're completely right. The culture and the language barrier is something which is really, really tough to break down. But perfect. So now that brings us to the segment called Out With It in 5 seconds.
Okay.
I'm going to throw fun questions at you. You have to answer within 5 seconds. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So the first one is, if your life had a theme movie or a show, what would it be?
5, 4, 3. I'm just saying the first thing that comes to my brain is like Cinderella. I don't know. Like, I mean, okay, granted, I have wonderful parents. I was not raised by an abusive stepmother with stepsisters. But it's that whole thing. I find it more of like an inspirational path of like going from rags to riches. Like, you can really do what you want to do if you're kind to everyone and you have courage. And that's like my mantra. My motto is
perfect. The second question actually is, if you were to tell something to your 12-year-old self, what would you tell her?
Keep going. Yeah,
that's good.
It.
Okay.
Really, just keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
Trust God. Keep going and trust God.
Oh, the newborn Christian.
Yes, that's me. Yes, but honestly, that's really been my light. That's been my path. That's where
you have grown a lot. I think the past 3 years I've seen you. Trajectory has changed. Okay, so the third question is, if you could star in any movie from the past or upcoming movie, which one would it be and what role?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I love Angelina Jolie so much. I think she's so beautiful and badass and just such a good actress. And actually the first thing I auditioned with to get my agent was her role from Girl Interrupted. I don't know if you've ever seen Girl Interrupted. It's like a super dark movie with Winona Ryder and Angelina Jolie, and I think it was filmed in the 90s. But it's just super interesting. It's like about this like troubled girl that like goes to this mental facility and meets all these other troubled women, and Angelina Jolie is like the most troubled of them all, and she has this really, she's just so like mean, and it's just so genuine, and she's so dark, and I just feel like, wow. And like, I see interviews of her in person. I don't know if she's like that in real life, but like, you see interviews and I'm like, wow, that contrast of like being that type of person and
acting.
Yeah, I was in Hitmen.
You know what I thought you were gonna answer? It's so weird, but Gone Girl.
Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. You just see me as that type of.
I don't.
You just see. You're like, oh, that's
I think
Summer.
you could act really well in that movie. It fits your acting career.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, maybe, I don't know if they do a remake.
Maybe. Okay. So
Wizards of Waverly Place, another one.
Ooh,
I love Selena Gomez. I love Alex Russo.
Or Girl Meets World.
No, not that one. I actually did not like that show. I'm sorry. Unpopular opinion. Maybe popular opinion. Yeah. I don't know.
No, a lot of people didn't. I loved it.
Yeah. It had Corey and Topanga, so, you know, there's that, but.
Yeah, it had its moments.
Yeah, it totally did.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Sabrina Carpenter now. She's like taking over the world.
2 different personalities.
She's great. She's just great. Killing it.
Okay, the last question is, what has been in your journey so far the lowest moment in your acting journey where you were like almost on the verge of like, I don't want to do this anymore?
That was freshman year for me, honestly, because at that point I had been acting for 5 years and I didn't get anything, and I was so discouraged. And that, I think, in a way that also pushed me to do WBB, because before I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do WBB because like I knew I would have to leave the industry for 2 years, and you know, but I was like, you know what, I am so tired of getting rejection after rejection. And I know that I'm good. I know that I'm putting in the work. I know that I'm doing what I can. But that's the thing about acting is like, you are rejected not because, like, you could be rejected for the dumbest reason. Like, you could be rejected because they're like, oh yeah, I don't really like the way that her nose looks on that angle. And it's like, that's why you're rejected. Yeah. You know? And I was really at a low because I was so close to getting this one Disney role. at a loss. I was like, you know what? Like, maybe I'm just not meant to be an actor. Maybe I'm just not meant to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then lo and behold, a month later, I book Hitmen. And so it's like, you're not good enough. You just need to keep going. And if you feel burnt out, stop for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm so grateful that my life turned out the way that it did, because I did Hitman. I was like, okay, great. I love acting, but I'm ready to do something else. And then I took a break for 2 years, traveled the world with you, and it was the best experience of my life. And I came back like wanting to do acting again. Like I found my hunger again. And that's what's so important about acting. You have to crave it every single day. You have to want to do it. And if you don't, then don't do it. Because you're not going to get anything for sure.
But I do agree. There are so many moments in life and you're like, I think I'm burnt out now.
Yeah.
You need to take a step back.
Totally.
And bounce back. And especially if it's something that you've always been passionate about, you will find your way back to it, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, especially important in the arts industry, because I think a lot of people get burnt out because they're relying on the arts to be their full-time career. Like, you know, I'm acting because I need to pay rent, not I'm acting because I love it.
Love acting, yeah.
I think there's a really big difference, and it's hard to keep going and not to get burnout.
True. That's perfect. Yeah. Very true. But that brings us to the end of the episode. And before I let you go, I'm going to have you sign a catchphrase for your journey so far.
I love it.
So think of a catchphrase and I'll give you the iPad to write it and then sign it.
Okay. Okay, do I like tell you what it is? Do I write the catchphrase?
Yeah, and then you can show it to the camera.
Okay. And you said sign it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know if you can see it.
Okay, read it. What is it?
But it says, of course, have courage and be kind. It's my Cinderella quote. Because every time I've lived by that, life's worked out for me.
That's so nice.
So, yeah, it seems a little silly as a 22-year-old girl seeing a Disney princess as her inspiration, but
I don't think it's silly.
I don't know. I feel like I'm doing pretty well.
You
At least
are
that's
doing...
what I tell myself.
I think being kind is never silly. So I love that.
Thank you, Kaya.
It sums you up perfectly.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
Thank
doing
you for
this.
having me. This was so much fun. I loved it.
I loved it too.
And I love
you.
you.
This was actually so nice.
Thank you.
I love you too.
Out with it. Out with it. By Kaya.